What's up, guys? We are doing some AMS2 on LFM today. This is going to be my second time doing LFM. I did one in the Janetta, like right when it released, with zero preparation at all. This will be my first one where I did a little bit of practice, not much, probably got 20 minutes in. But yeah, this is IMSA, so multiclass GT3s and LMDHs, or GTPs. We're going to be using the new Lamborghini SC63. Yeah, just going to see how this goes. We are in split 3. Splits are pretty small. Seems like only 20-something drivers. 25, 26 drivers in a lobby, split halfway between LMDH and GT3. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. You know, network-wise, driving standards-wise, I don't know. You know how many. I'm sure there's a lot of players in here that are new to AMS2 in general. Version 1.6 and LFM really put a big spotlight on this game the other day. So yeah, so we're just here to have some fun. Hope to have a good, clean race. See what happens. Free practice just ended. We're waiting for it to switch over to quali. There we go. All right, and I'm not familiar with setups in this game, so we're just gonna run the default setup and get a time in. And now version 1.6 changed a lot of the physics, mainly the tire model, and the game does feel better. I would say there's still a little bit of that slidiness left over. It's just to a much smaller degree than it was before 1.6. Like, the AMS2 is still more forgiving than
push. Okay, Brandon, we've got
Ultimate
7 minutes to get a decent lap in.
iRacing.
We've got cold brakes all round. Be careful. We've got cold tires. We need to get some heat into them.
I have more experience with the LMDHs from LMU, and at the limit, AMS2 is definitely more forgiving. The lockup behavior is actually similar between the two, but you just still can feel.
On your right. You're clear on the right.
I'd say there's a little bit of that slidiness left, but it feels like it's pretty much all in the rear now, instead of like,
go on your right. The right side's clear.
You know, four-wheel drifting out of every corner. So it feels more natural than it did before, for sure. Tires, we're gonna make it a little easy this first lap. Force feedback feels good. Definitely tell what's going on. It's not as detailed as LMU, but I don't feel like I'm missing anything critical. And I have to say, I have spun out more since 1.6 release than I have in my entire playtime of AMS2 before that. So cars are definitely trickier at the limit than they used to be.
There's a car right. Clear right. There's a guy on your left. Clear on the left. Right side's clear. Okay, Brandon, 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes left.
Minutes to go in a 30-minute race. We'll hope the race session launches. They've said there's been some bugs and stuff they're working on. Technically, LFM integration is still considered beta. But I really hope it stays populated. I mean, this sim has such a good breadth of
The leader's just
content,
done
right?
134.1.
Historical content. They now have what I believe is most of the IMSA grid and IMSA tracks.
P2.
So, you know, it has potential to, more of the niche stuff has more potential to stay populated than in iRacing, where, you know, you have to buy individual cars and tracks. Like, no one wants to spend money
134.3.
on a car in a series that's not populated, whereas, you know, if it's just included in AMS2,
The leader has just done a...
people are going to try it. So, like, GT1 should be really, really fun if they get that running. You might already have that running. Group A too, now that they have the Audi in there, you got Beamer, Mercedes, and Audi. Lots of potential. Essentially, almost as much potential as Assetto Corsa, the first Assetto Corsa, but, you know, without having to download mods and things like that. So it just makes it more accessible. Alright, we're currently in P4. Eventually we'll get P3 after this lap, but it looks like we were about 4/10 up.
Alright, Brandon, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up. P3, that lap time was 134.2.
Feel the car twitching under braking there. Car sounds pretty good. I don't want to mess with my audio mix.
Just done a 132.9.
At least in my headphones right now, the
2 minutes to go.
car scraping the ground is louder than the engine.
Your tyre temperatures are good. Sector 1 time's okay.
I just haven't gotten too in depth with AMS2 because I just used it really as a quick, you know, hop on and drive random cars for a little bit and then hop off, but has the potential to be... Oh, we ran out of fuel. Alright, so we use more than 2.7 liters a lap. Alright, we don't have enough time to set another one, so we'll return to pits and figure out lap time 134. Need to figure out what we run around. I want to figure out how much fuel we need to run. Thankfully, they do it in laps, so you really just need to figure out how many laps you're gonna. So 30-minute race. Need to have at least 20 laps. I'm gonna do 21, just extra. We might find pace in the race, and we'll see. So we'll do 79 liters. And yeah, like I said, I want to move the brake bias a little more rear, but I really just don't know enough about setups in there. So over changes I don't need to. We are just above the middle of the LMDH grid, so we will have a good battle. Looks like most of us are using the Lambo. A couple BMWs. Cadillac at the bottom. Don't know how good the BOP is in this sim, especially with 1.6 physics changes. Whether LFM would even be able to do their own BOP, or if Razer would need to do it. The good thing about LFM, though, I mean, this gets so many people in at once to do testing and things like that, and then LFM can communicate feedback to the devs. So this really just is a chance for this sim. I mean, it already technically did reach new heights. It set the most, or it set its personal record for simultaneous players when this launched. But yeah, it'll be curious to see how this does. You know, hopefully it's not an R Factor 2 situation where LFM is populated for a small amount of time and then it dies. Like I said, I think just the accessibility of this game, the simple model, you don't need, I don't believe you need to buy any of the DLC tracks to race them online. Cars, yes, but tracks, no. You only need them if you plan on driving offline. And then, you know, like I said, a huge variety of content without needing to download mods is just, I think for a lot of people, going to be
the end of the session. P4.
the difference between racing LFM or not. All right, so P4 with P5 right behind us. I mean, really, and P6, so
30 minutes. P4.
sure. So kept our fuel. Shouldn't have to do a pit stop. If we get in an accident, we have to, then we'll be screwed because too familiar with the pit box, and honestly, I don't even know my controls too much. My biggest pet peeve with this game is the control scheme, and more specifically how you edit it and how you can save multiple presets. So like, you know, for different rims you use, so I use this rim for Formula and prototype cars. You know, different number of encoders and buttons. So, you know, compared to something like the GT Neo, you know, have different control setups. So you can save separate control schemes per wheel. Perfect. The issue is once you load into a session, you can't switch between presets. So if I played last on the GT Neo and I load into a session with the FX rim on and realize, oh crap, you know, I have the wrong preset. I can't change it. I have to back out of the session I'm in. Which I was hoping with the UI redo, which really isn't a redo as much as it was just a reskin. I was hoping they'd change that, but unfortunately they didn't. Not the end of the world, but just seems like a baffling quality of life thing that would be easy to fix, but developers, there's something hardwired into the code that nearly impossible.
30 minutes.
Okay,
Brandon,
we are
you ready?
That was an abrupt start, to say the least. Alright, so we'll turn regular light. I don't think you can flash in this game. If we have to pass traffic, I think we just have to keep spamming the headlight button to let them know we're go for the move. Yeah, no real guideline for the starting grid, so hopefully we're doing like a single file. And P5 is really trying to get past me. Alright, hopefully this start goes well and we don't get a penalty or anything.
Go, go, go.
It's like there's not really much LFM can do for with starts all built into the game. Alright, cold tires, gotta remember. See the car to my left going deep. This corner right here will catch you out if you don't brake early on cold tires. The goal here is just to finish without an accident. I'm not sitting like ACC where I pick a position I want to finish in and all that.
And we can build something from here.
Alright, my frame rate is staying pretty solid. Fluctuating between like 115 and 120 FPS at 4K with everything set to max. Whoa! I think the server desync stuff is going to be the biggest challenge. Especially with us being in the US, I'm worried that that's going to be an issue for like viability of US players being able to race. Because I've done some, you know, leagues on AMS2, and it seemed like using the in-game servers was more consistent than using dedicated servers, but I imagine LFM has to use dedicated servers. So the last thing I want to do is punt someone off. So we'll play it relatively safe. That's the thing that's so impressive about Le Mans Ultimate is the server stability and the netcode is, in my opinion, completely unmatched. Like, I'm never worried to race wheel to wheel with anybody on there like I am on iRacing. ACC, you know, sometimes get people floating or rubber banding if their connection isn't great, but iRacing is like, no, someone won't be floating. You know, there will be no sign that they have a bad connection, and then...
Come on, don't make it easy for him. Make him go the long way around.
Yeah, that little desync there again.
The leader has just done a 133.9.
Yeah, I mean, maybe all this data they'll be getting from LFM running will help them improve servers and netcode and things like that. Alright, we're keeping up with these guys. Oh. Spin up from the Lambo there. Alright, that's P3. I think I gotta adjust my HUD a little bit. They're overlapping up there. The standings. Alright, the Porsche doesn't brake early or anything, so we can brake at our normal point next
The
lap.
front brakes are getting pretty hot.
Alright, 5 minutes in. Curious when we'll catch the GT3s.
P3, you're a tenth off the pace in Sector 1.
I don't know if the map specifies the class of the cars, if like all the blue ones are GT3s. Definitely not, because there's not enough, weren't enough LMDHs in here to, for all those white dots to be them. I do like the new map though, it's very clear. Unless it's always been that way, but I don't think so. This Porsche's pulling away a little bit. He's not having to fight that other Lambo. Clipped a little late there.
The leader has just done a 133.6. The guy ahead's lap time is a 133.4. The gap to P2 in front is now 1.5. That lap was a 134.6.
Yeah, see, there's a little bit of that slidey feeling still there. Just isn't egregious like it used to be. And it's not there in corner entry. Only there in corner exit while you're under power, and it only feels like it's the rear axle. It just feels very forgiving. But it makes it fun. I mean, you can push the limits a little bit. You'll still spin if you go over them.
The gap to P2 ahead is now 1.7 seconds.
Graphics in this game are solid. Not the best I've seen, not the worst I've seen. They don't get that blurriness that ACC has. Everything's nice and crisp. The lighting is decent. I think Le Mans Ultimate has the best lighting, though. But I think I prefer the environment. I think looks better in this game than in ACC. But I think the bar textures look better on ACC, if that makes sense. But I 100% prefer the way this looks over iRacing. Every way. Alright, so we're about a third of the way in. P2's pulling ahead of us, I think. We're pulling ahead of P4. This might be a pretty simple race until we catch the GT3s, which it looks like we're starting to.
2.2. That last lap was a 133.9.
I feel the car on the limit there. If I could tell if I got on the gas, back end would rotate. Yeah, the force feedback.
That's 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes.
Like I said, it's not as detailed as Le Mans Ultimate, but it like. You feel the weight of the car, you feel what's going on. I think it's just the front axle detail isn't as high, but it still feels so natural.
Right side's clear. Car on your left. Clear left.
Like, this is a really, really fun game. And it's honestly what I wanted the new Forza Motorsport to be. Which is something not as hardcore as, you know, Le Mans Ultimate, ACC, that kind of thing, but, you know, more realistic. Like with Forza Horizon being a thing, I think Forza Motorsport had the leeway to do something more
The car in front has just done a
serious, more
132.9.
in depth.
Gap to P2 ahead is now 3.8 seconds. Your lap time was 134.4.
And I think they tried to do that, but in absolutely the laziest way possible. And then the force feedback on Forza Motorsport is, at best,
Coming up on a slower car.
okay.
Car on your left. Left side's clear. Car left. Clear left.
But, you know, Forza has a huge variety of cars. You get customization, all that. I think this is essentially what I wanted Forza Motorsport to be, sans customization, where you have a good variety of tracks and cars. More serious than an arcade racer, but it's more accessible than something like ACC, Le Mans Ultimate, iRacing. Like I don't think ACC is very setup centric, and I don't think this game is. I could be wrong, but I just feel like I don't see people talk about, you know, meta setups in this sim like I do ACC.
Car on your left side. You're clear on the left.
The gap
Maybe
to
that's just
P2
because,
ahead is increasing. It's now 4.9.
you know, until now there wasn't really a big competitive scene. AMS2.
The lap time was at 134.2.
But yeah, I think the sim has room to grow, especially with, you know, we have AC Evo coming in January, but that's going to be early access with not a huge amount of cars and tracks. You know, it's like 5 tracks and 20 cars or something like that. So the free roam feature won't be there at launch. I think this being a completed title.
Car right.
But BMW made me nervous. Oh,
He's still there. He's still there. Clear on the right.
this has a chance to grow, and I hope it does. Because I would love to play this more, especially now. Like, besides drifting and MX5 Cup, I really don't feel the need to play AC1 anymore.
P3.
Now that this has LFM. And this is beta, you know, hopefully they make improvements in the servers and everything and make it even better. Alright, about halfway. We still got some GT3s to make it
Just done
through.
a 134.6. Slower class car ahead.
Car right. Clear right.
The gap in front is now 5.8. Alright, Brandon, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
There's a car on your left. You're clear on the
Made
left.
that a little
Half
confusing
distance,
for that guy.
fuel looks
That was
good.
on me.
Good stuff, mate. This is fucking excellent.
Yeah, I tried to go around him on the right, and he was trying to stick to the racing line to be predictable. So. I feel like I lose a lot of time there. And that Porsche that was ahead of us, he's catching P1 right now. I think he's fastest. Be interesting to see if they slow each other down. Maybe we'll be able to reel in P1. Now granted, he could have just gotten lucky with traffic compared to P1. It's always a factor in multiclass.
There's an incident in turn 5. The gap to P2 in front is now 5.2.
There's sliding a little bit, but again, it feels like it's all the rear axle.
Coming up on a slower class car.
And it doesn't feel like you're maintaining speed like you used to before 1.6. It definitely feels like that's the slower way to take a corner. This is going to be dangerous here. I don't think we can... Yeah, we got to tuck in behind the Corvette here.
There's a car right. Right side's clear.
Another GT3 next. P1 and P2 have pulled time on me. Someone's going to the pits.
The car ahead's pitting.
The P2? Shit. Must have not
Well
fueled
done,
enough.
Brandon. This is great. Come on, keep nailing those exits. P2.
Or maybe he got damage. Oh. Good on him for holding his brakes. Alright, so P2 makes me worried about my fuel now.
You've got half your fuel left.
Now, one thing with these hypercars that
Slower class car ahead. He's their class leader.
I think can be both a pro and a con, depending on how you look at it, is it doesn't simulate the hybrid setup or hybrid system, sorry, 100% correctly. LMU right now is really the only sim that does.
5 seconds.
So, you know, that's my main beef with
Clear on the
iRacing
right.
2 with the GTPs is the hybrid system is set up wrong, but in a way that makes it more accessible, because it definitely was confusing in the Law Ultimate when I first tried the hypercars. And there's a lot of strategy that goes into that, and not having that makes stuff like this, IMSA series, more accessible. And I have to say it is a little relaxing to not have to worry about is my virtual energy depleting way faster than my fuel, and am I, you know, getting the battery up to full charge, where then I'm not getting any of the regen effect. And I don't think you can do bump starts either. It seems like the Cadillac always starts with the engine on.
The gap to P1 ahead is now 6.8. Okay, Brandon.
All right,
10 minutes to go.
left.
That's 10 minutes left.
I think we're pretty much done with most of the traffic. Well, I have to say we're all very respectful. There's the one Beamer that kind of went off track and came on track, but I don't think he did anything blatantly dumb.
You're matching race pace.
Alright, so our pace is on par with P1. Oh, a little lock up on the left. So I don't think we'll catch him in just pace, but he makes a mistake or spins. Be right there. Now I do have to say, while it is nice to drive a hypercar in a multi-class on Daytona, because that's something I can't do in the Ultimate. I really don't think I would drive hypercars and GT3s that much on this sim over ACC and the Ultimate. What I'm really looking forward to are the other combinations of content you don't really get in other sims. Historical stuff, historical tracks. You know, like older Formula cars. But, you know, for people who don't have ACC or don't have
133.8.
Ultimate, want to pay for individual cars and tracks and iRacing, I mean, this is a very fun option. That's a corner where I've spun out before in practice, so be careful there. Yeah, the car's just more forgiving when you're just going over the limit than the Mall Ultimate.
The gap to P1 ahead is now 6.8 seconds.
The Mall Ultimate's kind of in between iRacing where, you know, oh shit, you're over the limit, you die. My Ultimate is very twitchy on the limit, but not overly punishing. This gives you that little bit more leeway to cover the car. But again, it's not like it used to be before, where you really wouldn't lose time doing that. You definitely lose time doing it now.
That was 133.9.
Went in deep. Tires are barely worn.
Slower class car ahead.
Compared to something like the Caterham Cup is
the gap ahead is now
one of the leagues I was
seconds.
doing. And those things were essentially four-wheel drifting everywhere. And honestly, they probably do that normally, and then you have the way AMS2 used to handle.
Left side. Left side's clear. There's a guy on your right. Right side's clear.
I'd actually be interested to drive those again and see how different those feel. I mean, they are essentially bicycle tires on the Caterham, so I don't think you're going to get a crazy planted feel in it.
We've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
But your tires would wear so big. Those things.
That's 5 minutes to go. Come on, keep it together. We'll be on the podium here.
Alright, we got a big gap to P3, 19 seconds, so I don't think we got to worry about him. P1 is pulling away.
The leader's just
We got
done
very
at
unlucky with traffic.
133.1.
Yeah, we just gotta hope something
Sector 1 is 1.3 off the pace.
bad happens to him.
The gap to V1 in front is now 8.6 seconds.
Might be the best I've ever
Slower
taken
class
that.
car ahead, V2.
Left side. Left side's clear.
Hope we can get past this Lambo before the braking zone. Okay, we will. Stay in fourth. Alright, they said P1 did a 133.1 last. Let's see what our time is here. We're going to be in the 132s. Yep.
Incident in International Horseshoe.
Oh, no, just kidding. 33.2. Our potential is in them.
Left side. You're clear on the left.
Get on the throttle too early in that corner. Apex is always later than I anticipate. Might be the worst I've taken that corner that time.
The gap to P1 ahead is now 7.7.
Alright. Probably 2 more laps to go.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
Potentially just 1, but probably 2. Cut the track there a little bit. Yep.
You're coming up on a slower car.
On your right. Clear on the right.
Love the illuminated numbers on the cars. These look really good. It's one of the few tracks I can say I've been to in real life, and I feel like they pretty much nailed the ambiance.
Clear on the left.
We'll be going there again this year, and unfortunately, the Aston Martin hypercar is not going to be ready. It's like the Lambo one wasn't ready last year for the 24 Hours of Daytona. We'll be able to see the Lambo one, but not the premium V12 Aston Martin, unfortunately. Try to go to Road Atlanta. Hopefully see it there. Completely missed my braking point. Saw the P1 car up there and was trying to figure out if he'd finish before the time is up. I think he will. I think, unless he lets off, which is possible. I think we're going to do one more.
Last lap.
Yep.
Looking good for a podium. Slower class car ahead.
Car left. Clear on the left.
It's one of the trickiest
5
sections
minutes
to
of
do
fuel
with
remaining.
traffic.
5 minutes.
Oh, that was track limit.
Stay between the lines.
Surprised that's the first one we got. Like we were pushing the limits of the limits to the bus stop a few times. All right, well, clean race, P4 to P2.
We're on the podium. Good drive.
Not bad for our first more competitive race. Congrats to Walker up front. Let's give him a congratulatory flashing of the headlights. Yeah, I love the illuminated numbers on the cars. It's such a cool detail. Completely non-impactful to the actual racing, but just looks really good.
Right side.
Much work in this does.
Clear right.
Yeah, you can see the little bit of net code there. His car's quick movements. His car was going through the ground. All right, and that Lambo's a good-looking car. I think it might be my favorite looking hypercar. The Alpine is cool too, but there's something about the Lambo. All right, well, that is going to do it for today. The Formula One race is starting in 3 minutes, so this was actually perfect timing. But yeah, we'll probably be doing more of AMS2, LFM. Gonna try to figure out to work it into my schedule where I have a dedicated night to stream, and do a few different, categories of racing in one night. But I'll have to figure that out first and then see how stable this really is before I do that, because trying to do daily races in the Mall Ultimate was a hassle for a while because the game would crash and things like that. But now Mall Ultimate is stable, so but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, if you're kind of on the fence of getting AMS2, I really think it's as good as it's ever been right now, and I for sure am going to be playing it a lot more, so it has my meaningless endorsement. But yeah, y'all have a good rest of your day, and I will hopefully catch you on the next one. Peace.